the youth sector, civic groups. How do you assess the current state of the transportation system in Naga City? What are the key strengths and weaknesses? And how do you think does it differ or how is it similar to other areas in the Philippines?
We have identified 4 major urban transportation problems. So first is congestion. Another thing is the level of public transport natin is deemed unsafe and reliable. One of the key contributing factor in road crashes is the use of motorcycle. However, the motorcycle is deemed unsafe. So another thing is, other than road crashes, is pollution. And the last is lack of inclusiveness. May magandang involvement yung citizens and stakeholders in the planning process. And there is a cooperation within different institutional boundaries. So, ito lang. For example, ganito, yung ginagawa natin, that is considered a strength. However, for the weakness, yung transport modes natin is not integrated. We have to define wala tayong definition of a long-term vision and a clear implementation plan.
One thing na nakikita natin, sa mga strength ng Naga City People's Council na kung saan nag-represent ng different senator, it does happen lang na may spasyo, pero yung level of participation, kakaunti lang yung nag-advocate on transportation. And the concern for public transportation, it should be a concern of everyone. Ang nangyayari kasi, kulang yung nag-advocate. Though merong nag-advocate na, pero yung how they could further, kumbaga, yung level of awareness, yun yung isa sa mga concern. Meron tayong space, like, for example, Naga City People's Council, pero hindi siya masyado pang-amplify. Na kumbaga, ito yung maganda ding oportunidad na for possible policy options. Though, ang city government, on the other way, another strength, like in our office, if you are familiar with S2 cities, so yung Naga City, just recently, isa sa mga 2 cities in Asia, or 2 cities in the Philippines, Baguio and Naga City, ay napili ng isang foundation sa Switzerland. And meron tayong malakas na network even outside the Philippines.
Unlike them, I haven't really been involved with researches regarding transport. So I'll be speaking from experience na lang siguro using private transportation and commuting. So I feel like the main problem for me when commuting is congestion. Kahit din naman pala nakakuha ka ng private transportation method, andun pa rin yung traffic. Concerned ko rin yung safety ng students, especially ng women on public transportation. Kasi ang daming reports, especially here sa Naga, ng mga parang sexual harassment. Concerned din talaga ako sa safety. Comparing the transport here sa other places in the Philippines, I can say na yung transportation dito, mas relatively affordable. Naga was supposed to be a bike-friendly city.
So when we talk about transport and mobility, we talk about the commuters, vehicles, the road safety, policy implementation and management, and you also talk about politics behind it. So kung sa commuters naman, and sa vehicles, ayun, pagsabay na natin. Kung sa convenience ng commuters, as compared to other cities or municipalities here in the Philippines, medyo mas madali dito sa Naga. Nakita natin na minsan nagiging abusado yung mga tricycle drivers natin. For example, yung Peña Francia, napakaraming report sa city government na ginagancho sila ng mga tricycle driver. The city government is trying its best na i-manage nga siya as part of the city government. Pero para sa akin, nakukulangan ako sa efforts. Now let's talk about inclusivity. Na-mention po nila kanina. Just a quick background. So, I have a brother with special needs and ako wheelchair siya. So, di ko ma-imagine na isasakay ko siya sa tricycle kasi very hassle in our part din and very hassle din on his part. Wala bang nag-design ng local government improvements sa design ng ating tricycle? Pero meron ako nakitang developments from the modernized jeepneys. Meron tayong platforms for participation sa kung ano mga gusto natin mga recommendations about transport and mobility. However, yun nga, sabi ni Kuya James, there's a platform, pero konti yung nagsasuggest, konti yung nagcha-champion for the advocacy. So, kasi, sa city government naman kasi, they can see everything. It is true that di nakikita ng lahat ng government officials yung struggles natin. And as part of the community, kailangan natin ipaalam sa city government para masolusyonan. Yung developments kasi natin dito sa Naga, we really value people participation. And dapat, yung government and yung community, hand in hand sila nag-work. Hindi natin pwedeng iasa ang lahat sa gobyerno. Hindi rin natin pwedeng iasa ang lahat ng solusyon sa komunidad. But it is a partnership.
Thank you so much for those insights. Talagang ang common na nakikita nilang weakness the congestion. Probably because of population and yung dami na din ng mga both private and public transport na ginagamit dito sa Naga. Even if we think na it's much accessible compared to the other areas in the Philippines, kung compared sa Manila, for example, mas madaling mag-commute dito. Parang rapid din yung pagtaas ng fare. Also, yung safety of not just of women, but of everyone. One thing I also want to specify or emphasize here are bike lanes na used as parking areas because it has always been a problem, not just in Naga, but also in other places in the Philippines. Sa mga mga areas nyo, like sa CPDO, NCPC, from civic groups kasi diba, Anak Bayan is always in contact with the jeepney drivers, and you from SK, what do you think are the obstacles din na naghihinder para mag-develop and para ma-modernize natin yung transport sector, transport infrastructure in Naga City?
One of the obstacles is budget allocation.
Sa akin naman, tinitingnan ko siya sa anim na bagay. So we call it, if you are familiar with FESTEL analysis, political, economic, social, technological, environment, and legal.
I think the main hindrance sa effective modernization sa transportation natin is the lack or absence of care of the government sa commuters and sa drivers, sa operators. There are a lot of alternatives na mas affordable, mas efficient para sa modernization, pero they still chose to push the modernization na mas nag-cater sa mga businesses. How would you expect the drivers and the operators to pay millions para i-replace yung jeep nila with modern jeepneys?
Yung pinaka-gusto ko na sabi ni Kuya James na hindi masyadong na-focus ng lahat is yung sa perception ng tao, sa behavioral change na kailangan. Because kapag ang mga commuters mas nakikita nila na parang mas okay na lang na magkaroon ako ng sariling sasakyan para yung mobility ko hindi na masyadong ma-hassle. Kapag ganun pa rin yung thinking kasi on top of hindi accessible at hindi convenient na transport system, ganun talaga siya mangyayari. So what we have to do is that dapat baguhin natin yung perception on top of other measures para mas mainganyo yung commuters natin na i-appreciate ang public transport. Yung sa part ng Naga, may ginagawa yung Naga. Come to think of it, yung mga modernized jeepney natin is actually a product of partnerships ng local government and ng transport groups. So parang hindi siya totally shouldered ng mga operators and drivers. Kaya, ayun, may mechanism siya. Although it's not yet widely implemented, but at least there's already progress na tinitingnan natin. Ikatlong nakita ko na point is kulang tayo sa research and development about sa transport sector. We cannot really progress if we don't have our own contextualized or hyper-localized researches on how we can further develop here yung transport infrastructure natin.
So, ano ba yung mga measures na in terms of alleviating traffic congestion and promoting sustainable transportation, ano ba yung yung pwedeng gawin ng, so for example, LGU Naga, ano ba yung ginagawa? Ano pa ba yung pwedeng gawin?
So, one of the measures to alleviate traffic congestion is to adapt the sustainable transportation. So, sa sustainable transportation, may pyramid siya na tinatawag. Ang nasa pinakataas, yung most sustainable mode of transportation is walking. That is number one. So, if we can encourage people to walk, so it will help lessen the congestion. Number two is the use of bicycle. Yan yung ikalawa sa hierarchy. So next, we also have the use of public transportation.
Ang city government of Naga, may mga programa talaga siya. Like, actually, with the help of the academic institution, like we partner with this class. Ito yung may mga datos na, actually may mga datos na we already have conducted series of consultation with different sectors. Ang nangyayari lang talaga ay, yun nga, yung bureaucracy sa gobyerno. Like the approval pa lang, di ba, napakatagal na. Like, nasabit na yung plano noong December pa, pero until now, wala pa din update. Kami kasi sa planning, ito yung role namin. Hindi lang kami yung nagpa-facilitate. Hindi lang namin tinitingnan yung government side. Hindi lang namin tinitingnan yung sa commuters or stakeholders. So, kailangan talaga may common point. At alam natin na we are the fourth industrial revolution na kung saan nasa technology na tayo at hindi natin yan maiiwasan. Pupunta tayo dyan na dapat maging technologically naive tayo. And kapag hindi kayo trained in the technology, for sure, we will be left behind. So kami naman sa City Planning and Development, so lang kayo, visit sa aming opisina at handa kami makinig at i-integrate po natin.
So, mag-add na lang din ako sa mga sinabi mo. Efficient din yung ride sharing kasi nga, kahit marami na naman private vehicle mo, tapos sa isang private vehicle, kayang makashot naman yung like 4 to 5 person. So, ayun, minsan sa isang private vehicle, isa lang naman na tao yung sumasakay. So, if we can implement like the ride sharing, mas okay din kasi nga yung space ng vehicle, ma-maximize siya.
Sa akin naman, part of the city government. Siguro ang pinakagusto ko na recent developments ng administration ngayon ng city government is that pinahalagahan nila yung decentralization of opportunities dito sa Naga. And it's not just about decongestion. It's also about the development of a specific community. With that, mas maraming opportunities, mas maraming businesses ang mag-open up doon, and even schools. Yun na nga, mas kinakailangan ng strengthened people participation. Kung walang demand, walang mangyayari.
So we will entertain 3 questions. You can ask anyone from the panel. Any question na you think will help you draft your policies better?
Kung walang question, inside.
Yung insight ko po sa dito sa Urulay kapihan na hindi lang pala doon sa jeepney or sa ibang ng transport, pati pala yung sa bike, parang isa din problema and parang useless yung nagawang ordinance ng CYO batch 2021.
Paano ba mai-strengthen or ma-resurface yung ordinance? Kasi ang alam ko yung sa, kunyari 7 km, ganitong fare lang, parang ganun. Pero di ko kasi masyadong familiar yung ordinance na yun. Paano ba siya mai-strengthen?
So as a commuter myself, isa din sa frustrations ko. And yung ibang jeepneys natin, nakapost talaga kung ilan yung fare na dapat natin ibayad. Kulang talaga yung enforcement na dapat mag-stick sila sa 15 pesos. So siguro i-call na yung attention ng concerned department, health natin na dapat mag-implement yan.
Kulang tayo, kumbaga, kung may penalty tayo, kulang tayo sa reinforcement. At more on, hinahanap natin yung nag-violate kaysa doon sa nag-implement. Magagaling ang policy natin, merong magagaling policy tayo sa City Government of Naga. Magaling din tayo mag-implement, pero ang kulang is yung monitoring and evaluation part. So imagine yung pamasahe niyo noon, 5 pesos, sa tricycle, ngayon 15 pesos.
Pero yun, yung point of view ko sa batas or sa ordinance, kung bare minimum yun, dapat ginagawa.
When we talk about transportation, meron tayong tatlong E na kinoconsider. First is education. So, another A is we have enforcement. Kung meron tayong ordinance, dapat i-implement yun. The last thing is we have engineering.
Do you think developing pedestrian-centric infrastructure in Naga might affect the public transport sector in our city? And if there is this significant effect, either a negative effect, how can we mitigate the effects from their ends? And my second question, I believe this is suitable for Consi. Do you think, Gonzi, it's possible that we incentivize commuters, like, for example, in Singapore, they offer discounts to their people to encourage the use of public transport?
In transportation planning, we have this so-called multimodal transportation. So when we say multimodal, since multi siya, marami, and modal is mode. I have presented 3 modes kanina. Doon sa taas ng hierarchy, we have walking cycling, and public transportation. So one of the aspects na dapat integrated yung tatlo. So kung meron tayo nun, kahit alin dyan, it will be good to alleviate congestion. So, yun know.
Susugan ko lang yung sinabi.
Nasasagot ko yung tanong.
Susugan ko lang yung sinabi ni engineer. Actually, yung tatlo, sa ngayon, kung sa Philippine setup, medyo challenging ang implementation. Kasi for example, in Singapore, merong free bike. Accessible yung bike. Sa atin ba meron ba? Dito, wala. Kasi ang nangyayari sa atin, pag naglagay ka dyan, in the next day, wala na yan. Diba? Imagine yung bicycle lane nga doon sa may plaza. Imbis na yung garden. Di ba, pag anong maganda, ang setup, sinisira. Yan yung challenge sa atin, yung disiplina, culture, social aspect pa lang, bagsak na tayo, yung culture, natin. While we are trying to advocate this, kailangan natin yan, again, i-consider yung 6 na factors. The political, economic, social, technological, environment, and legal aspect.
So can we incentivize ba ng mga gustong mag-public transport? Pwede. Basta may support ng gobyerno.
To add lang doon sa incentivization, siguro avoid using best practices. Instead, we use working practices. As yung, for example, tax incentives. Yeah, private sector or business na pwedeng maidagdag. Mayroon silang tinatawag na tax credit or tax refund.
Last question daw po.
Siguro, recommendation lang na sana sa mga susunod na rollout ng AGP, sana we use na hybrid electric or full electric na kasi actually sa ibang bansa, Euro 4 is obsolete na siya. May hirapan na tayo mag-avail ng maintenance as well as yung sa pag-acquire ng spare parts if just in case need na yun ng repair. Nasa ratio and proportion ba yung mga dinadagdag na transportation vehicle dun sa actual number of commuters within a specific area?
I actually already discussed with Councilor Omar Benafe, the chairman for the Committee on Transport, regarding the use of electric vehicles. The next concern is regarding the number of units for. May I clarify if you are pertaining to public transport? So from a total of 119 units, naging 56 na lang siya, considering the demographic profile and the demand of passengers. So from 119, talagang bumaba na siya. Actually, talagang dumaan kami ng excessive consultations with the cooperatives regarding sa number of units.
And thank you so much sa ating mga participants for their insights and their helpful questions. And also to our panel,